identifying supplementary and vertical angles. So given one pair of supplementary angles and give one pair of supplementary angles and one pair of vertical angles shown in the figure below. So they give us this figure and they want us to identify some pieces here. So I'm going to use my pen. I'm going to show you. So supplementary angles mean that they add up to 180 degrees. And if you watched one of the previous videos about identifying supplementary angles or straight angles, which means a line, then you know that they add up to 180 degrees. So what we're looking for is a line. And the reason we're looking for a line is if I draw a line, so here's my line. If I go halfway like this is 180 degrees. But why? Well, we're thinking of a circle. If I keep going around, and I know that's a very horrible circle, if I go all the way around my circle, then it's 360 degrees. But if I only go halfway, then it's 180 degrees. So that's the reason why we know that a line is 180 degrees. So I'm looking for anything on a line. So I could use 1 and 2, or I could use 3 and 4 because those are in a line together. I could also draw this line here, and I could use 5 or 6, or I could use 7 or 8. Those are in a line together. Now I can also use this line going down this way. So now I could use 1 and 3. I could use 2 and 4, 5 and 7, 6 or 8. So I don't want to jump around. So I know I drew the whole red line. I don't want to go, oh, I can use 1 and 5, and I can use 3 and 7. They need to be adjacent, meaning right next to each other. So they need to kind of share another line. Otherwise, it won't work. So that's how we do supplementary angles. Now, vertical angles. Vertical angles are pretty easy. Anytime you have lines crossed like this, so I can draw it however I want as long as I have 2 lines crossing. Vertical angles mean I'm going across the vertex like this. And then I have these 2 angles equal each other. They're congruent to each other. So, and I can do that going this way too. And I'm going to put 2 arcs on this one. So these ones would be congruent going across the vertex this way. And then I can go across the vertex sideways here, and those 2 would be congruent to each other. So let's go ahead and try this out on the next page here. Let's clear that. Okay, so we're going to identify vertical angles. So we can go across any vertex I want. So I can do 5 and 2. I could do 1 and 6, 7 and 4, or 8 and 3. So I'm just going to choose one of those pairs. Let's go ahead and do 8 and 3. And then now we want to do supplementary angles. So remember, we just want to draw a line. So I'm going to do this line here. And I can choose just 2 pairs that are next to each other. So 1 and 5 would work. 6 and 2 would work. And I could also draw the line sideways. So I could pick 5 and 6 or 1 and 2. The main thing is I want to go right across a line. So I don't want to go across the vertex like I did before. I want to go across the line this way, so I want to follow it. So if we're looking at this red line here, I want to make sure that I can kind of go like this and do an arc around and get them both. So let's go ahead and do 5 and 1 and check. All right, we're going to do this. Oh no, I didn't mean to click that button. All right, so we're going to do this a couple more times here. Okay, so I'm not going to necessarily go through it each and every time. But supplementary angles, we want to choose a line. So just choose a line, and you can highlight it like that so you can see. And then just choose 2 angles that you can kind of draw an arc over like this. And remember, they have to be right next to each other. I can't jump over anything. So if I were to go long ways, I need to make sure that they were right next to each other. All right, so we have 8 and 7 and vertical angles. So vertical angles just mean I'm going across the vertex. So this one, I'm going to kind of jump across. They're not right next to each other. They're across the vertex from each other. So I went ahead and I chose 4 and 2. Are there a lot of answers for this one? Yes. There's a ton of different answers. They're not just one answer for this one topic. All right. So let's do this next one. So we have supplementary angles. Okay, so we have supplementary angles. And so we want to do this on a line. So I'm just going to choose a line, and I'm going to go this way. So if I choose this one, this is my line. Remember, I can't go, oh, well, I'm going to grab 2 and 8. That doesn't work because they're not right next to each other. I have to jump over 4 and 6 to get there. So I can do 2 and 4 or 6 and 8 or 1 and 3 or 5 and 7. So I just have to choose one of my pairs. There's a ton of pairs, and those aren't all of them. There's actually more. So we're just making sure we understand we're choosing angles that are on a line together. All right, for vertical angles, again, we're just going to go across a vertex. So I can go 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 5 and 8, 6 and 7. So there's 4 different options on this one. So I'm just going to go with 6 and 7. Why not? That's the last one I said. All right, we finished another one. Yay.